Well, hello everyone. I'd like to take this opportunity to welcome the class of 2024. Woohoo! Woohoo! I'd like to welcome you to South High School. At this time, we're going to begin doing what we would normally do in person, and which is doing our orientation. So I'll begin by introducing myself. My name is Robin Hopkins, and I am proud to be your principal and the principal of South High School. I will introduce Miss Jennifer Newmeyer. Jennifer Newmeyer is the 9th and 10th grade principal, so she's excited to meet you. And David Miller, Mr. Miller, is the principal for our 10th, 11th, and 12th graders. And he will see you around, so make sure you wave and say hello. And then, last but not least, our wonderful leader of our guidance counselors, and that is Ms. Virginia Joyce.
Hello.
All right. So the first thing I'd like to do, is really kind of talk to you a little bit about the Rebel Way. The Rebel Way is our school mantra. It is the foundation of what we believe in, what we do, everything that we do here. When we talk about our mantra, we're talking about respect, excellence, belief, effort, and leadership. Those words are words that we use in our classrooms when we are on our announcements and when we do different sorts of activities. We always want you to remember that because we're rebels, we behave in the rebel way. Respect, we want you to respect yourself. We want you to respect others and your school. Excellence does not mean be perfect. It means doing your best and even trying to do better than that. Belief is believing in yourself, believing in your teachers, and believing in the process of learning and growing as a young person here at South. Effort refers to doing the work. The only way you can do better is do it. It comes through hard work and effort, and it may not always be easy, but if you do it, you'll be happy with yourself and proud of yourself. And last but not least is leadership. And those are the actions that we take on a daily basis regarding the choices that we make, about being an example, about saying to yourself, no, I'm not going to do that, but I am actually going to suggest that you not do that. And that's how I'm going to be a leader. So we'll talk more about it, but remember, we are rebels and we follow the rebel way. Now what we'd like to do is give you just a little visual of the school. You all hopefully took advantage of the opportunity to come and walk around. But here are a few slides. So this is our cafeteria. Hopefully you got a chance to walk around. We call it the Student Union because it's where all of our students come together and unite. We'll move on to our next picture. The next picture is our field house. This is where you will take your gym classes in the field house. And we have a beautiful pool. We do not offer swim classes yet, but at some point we hope to do that in the future. But you can be a part of the swim team. This is our main gym where we have our competitions, volleyball, basketball, and sometimes we would have pep rallies and things in here. So this is our main gym. I want to show you a couple pictures of some average classrooms. Of course, because of our current situation, our classroom tables will not be joined like this, but this is basically what our rooms look like, and here's the second picture of a room. So I hope that you enjoyed your tour, and I'm going to turn this microphone over Miss Virginia Joyce.
Okay. First of all, I'd like to welcome class of 2024. We are very excited to see you and to meet with you over the period of time. We have in our department 3 guidance counselors. Miss Karen Finnegan, who will be the guidance counselor for A through G, last names. Mrs. Celeste Duffy, who will be H through O, and Virginia Joyce, me, who will be P through Z. So, honestly, we have open door policies, so if you have worries or concerns or questions, please make your way down to guidance department and we will deal with whatever it is that you need help with. Also, Mrs. Laura Carino is our guidance secretary, and she will field some of your questions, and she's very, very kind. So if you have anything, please see us in guidance. Our graduation requirements by the Ohio Department of Education is 21 and a half credits in order to graduate. The majority of our students graduate with anywhere between 23 and 26 credits. In order to get the minimum of 21 and a half, you need to take between 5 and a half and 6 credits per year to get to the 21 and a half at the end of your 4 years. It is made up of both core requirements and electives. You also must pass the mandated testing or an alternate pathway. Okay. In order to get to the 21 and a half credits by the Ohio Department of Education and adopted by Willoughby Eastlake Schools, we have a required courses of 4 English, 4 mathematics, 3 science, 3 social studies, half a credit of health, half a credit of physical education or its alternate, and 6 electives. The physical education, which will be covered in an athletic slide later on as well, is that you play 2 seasons of sport or band or cheerleading to 2 physical educations. You may not get 1 physical education course and 1 sport. It has to be 2 sports equal 2 physics. All right. Any questions? Please come see us because we would rather deal with that now than in the future. All right. Your typical 9th grade schedule is made up of courses that you have asked for, so elective credit as well as cores. Ordinarily, our freshmen will take English, math, science, and social studies, and then they will take other elective credits. We try to get them right away into computer science or into health or physical education. So when you get your schedule, you're going to look and you're going to say, oh, what is this about? And when you look on the term, it says 2021, which means that that is a course that goes for the entire year. If you see S1 or S2, that means that it is a semester course that will go, for example, on this slide, Creative Cook goes from August until January, or the end of December actually, and then your next course, which would be like a study hall maybe, or you would pick up a computer course or another course for second semester, would say S2, and that would be from January until the end of May. All right, and as I stated, your schedule will be made up of both core requirements and elective credit. So if you look at your schedule, algebra, English, physical science, and honors world history are core requirements. If you look at your schedule, French 1 and Creative Cook are considered elective credits. Any questions, please come see us in guidance. When you look at all freshmen have been assigned a study hall / lunch. So you will have, in this slide, it says study hall / lunch. That means that you'll go to, in this case, room 142. with Mrs. Grant to take a study hall for half of the 40 minutes, and then next, at the end of 20 odd minutes, you will go then to lunch. Obviously, that lunch will be in the student union. And then the students who ate lunch first will go to their study hall. All right, again, any questions, come see us. Okay, if you have any questions, comments, worries, or concerns, please reach out to your guidance counselor. We have information for you. We are willing to help, and we, like I said before, we have open door policy. From day one of your freshman year, all of these grades count. And so please, we hit the floor running in August, and we go. It's not a sprint though, it's a long distance run for 4 years, but we will help you in every process. And now I hand this over to Ms. Neumeier.
Thank you, Virginia. Welcome, students, and nice to say hello for my first official time greeting you. One of the major ways that we can help students stay engaged throughout that long 4-year run is to help them get involved. Your high school experience is enhanced by being involved in school-sponsored events and activities, whether it's sports or clubs, committees, or other service learning activities. So we really want you to get involved and become a rebel and join the family by playing an active role. Some of the activities we have and clubs that are available to you are academic decathlon, class officers, drama club, flag corps, jazz ensemble, key club, marching band, mock trial, National Honor Society, newspaper, student council, yearbook, and Penn Ohio, just to name a few. You might not have heard of those initially, or you might feel like you haven't had a chance to join up, but with all of the changes with COVID-19, everyone's starting fresh this year. When you arrive, if there's something you're interested in, just ask, and we'll be happy to get you connected. Likewise, we have an athletic department. Mr. Jim Mormino is our athletic director, and he has faculty advisors that are available to you. A big difference this year, because again of the protocols for COVID-19, you will want to check out southathletics.org for all ticketing information. At this time, we are able to play sports, but tickets will be pre-sale only and limited. So please check out southathletics.org. Some of the sports that are available to you: cheerleading, football, soccer, tennis, wrestling, bowling, swimming, lacrosse, cross country, golf, volleyball, basketball, track, and baseball. Again, if you haven't gotten involved yet, it's never too late. Be proactive, get out there and just start asking questions of your teachers, of guidance, of administration. We will make sure that you get connected. And at this time, I'm going to turn it over to our other assistant principal, Mr. Dave Miller.
Hello, everyone. Parents, some of you may be familiar with or have been involved with the PTO or PTA. We do have some parental groups that you can join. Our first group is the Rebel Families. They help raise money for teacher grant, scholarship, after prom fashion show. They will also be sending everybody who has an email on file a email inviting you to a virtual meeting on October 6th where you can learn more about their group. That's our Rebel Families. We also have the Band Boosters and also our South Athletic Boosters. Again, those are all organizations that you can help join and help support our students here at South High School. Also, with Power School, a lot of our teachers are going to be using Schoology for the first time this year. It's going to be new for everyone, not only parents, but staff alike. So please, if we have any hiccups, we apologize in advance, but we're going to be learning with you just as much as you're going to be figuring us out. We're going to be figuring it out on our end as well. So there will be some information in regards to Schoology and how that's going to work with your students and communication back and forth. Also, Power School, some of you may be familiar with Power School. You can look up and see updated grades. You can even set different parameters within the setting, and you can be updated as soon as your son or daughter's teacher updates the grade. You can also link direct communication with your son or daughter's teacher that way as well. Also, students can also have their own communication via PowerSchool as well with their teachers as well. Parents also, just so you know, if we do contact via PowerSchool, your son or daughter doesn't know what you're talking about because you don't share the same password accounts or anything like that. So it's all private between you and your son and daughter's teacher. With that being said, our virtual students, we have some expectations. Just remember, when you're virtual, wherever you're at, everybody else can see. So consider where you're at when you're doing your virtual class. In regards to the noise, you again suggest you need to mute it. If you hear any loud noises, not only your classmates can hear it, but your teacher as well, and you want to be able to be focused in your classes. Again, students who are doing virtual, remember, if you want to maybe try to do some practical jokes or be a little silly, remember all actions will follow under student code of conduct, and if need be, discipline action could be taken if you do something very inappropriate, for example. All right? So let's mind our P's and Q's, and we're there for a reason. Let's not forget that reason. Okay. So, for our virtual students, just a reminder, this is like a typical day. You're going to be live streaming into your classroom. So, first period starts at 7:45. So, you're going to be there in log in live at 7:45. It's like being here, but you're just doing it virtually. So, it's a little bit changed than it was in the springtime. So, I know for the last 5.5 months, you're used to sleeping in. So, now we're going to have it going back to school. We're back in school mode now, not extended summer break mode. So remember, 7:45 is 7:45, not 7:55, 7:57. All right, you need to be there on time. Your teachers are going to take attendance period by period. With that being said, parents, if your son or daughter is not feeling well, we still ask that you call your virtual student off for attendance purposes. Also remember, the district has a different bell schedule for Wednesdays. Again, there'll be an update on that, where that bell schedule is basically the 2-hour early release for all students. With that being said, classrooms are only going to be 20 minutes long. So you're going to be having a short time with your teacher. So that's on Wednesday. It's every Wednesday. On to Mrs. Newmeyer. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Mr. Miller. So obviously there's a few new requirements for all public environments these days. Masks, social distancing, temperature checks. Families are the first line of defense. If you notice that your student who is normally attending in person is not feeling well in the morning, we are asking you to be cautious and conservative, and please keep them home. Masks will be required on buses, in school, except to eat and drink, and of course in the classroom at any time that 6 feet of social distancing cannot be maintained, but it is still our first line of defense to keep ill students and faculty and staff at home until they are cleared by a doctor, so that we can keep the rest of us in school as long as possible. Students are expected to bring their own mask and sanitizer daily. Sanitizer stations are available throughout the building, and hand washing is encouraged, but you know that if you bring your own, you're guaranteed to have some available at all times. Same with masks. We are asking you to bring your own mask. However, if a student forgets one or soils one, we will have one available for them, but after a second offense, we will begin charging for those, and we don't want to have to go that route if we don't have to. Attendance, online and in person, is important to have these phone numbers. Please be sure to use the numbers below to call in your students' absences, just like Mr. Miller said, if you have decided to keep your student home, or if it's a virtual student but they are too ill to participate or they have an appointment of some sort, we do ask that you call them off just like any other school year. If it's an all-day absence, we have a phone number there, If it's going to be later in the day, maybe it's a last minute appointment or something else that wasn't first period related, you can call the second number there. But we do need all students in person and virtual reporting their absences because teachers are taking attendance. In addition, we are staying safe, smart, and strong here at South High School. We are not permitting any outside visitors at this time. If your student forgets something and needs it to be dropped off, for example, lunch money, maybe an outfit for a sport later in the day, we are permitting that, but you will not be able to come into the building and meet with the student. We'll buzz you in to drop it off in the vestibule, and we will have your student come pick it up so that we're not cross-contaminating any person or any other facilities. Food and drink are typically, up to the teacher's discretion, but this year it is permitted in the lunch areas only. There will be no sharing of food and drink and no class treats. I know that's not as common at the high school level, but it's still important to remember, even if it's your birthday or a special holiday, please do not bring in treats to share, not even with your closest friends. We really want to keep that to a limited quantity of just bringing your own. Drinking fountains will be off, but water bottle filling stations are on, so you are encouraged to bring your own water bottle and to fill it up at the drinking stations as needed, but just know that the fountains are off. You will need your own bottle. Stairwells, the smaller stairwells, have been labeled as unidirectional. Some are up, some are down, and we ask students to adhere to that to prevent close quarter crossings. There are larger stairwells where the right side would then be up and the left side would be down, but those will be labeled for your information and so that you can follow those. We will attempt to our best ability to have spaced out seating, a reduced number of students, and restricted movement in the lunch areas. We've also removed all soft surface furniture so that we are only using furniture that can be cleaned easily and quickly. And we also have a separate area for ill students who are exhibiting COVID-like symptoms. So upon entering during first period, when we take temperatures, students who have a temperature will not be going into the regular clinic. We are doing our best to not cross-contaminate the clinic because we know that many students use that for regular medications and checkups and such. Finally, expect assigned seats on the bus, classes, and study hall. That is extremely important so that we know who you have been around from day to day. If someone does have a positive COVID test, we will need to be able to go through that student's schedule very quickly and know exactly which students were seated around that student all day, starting on the bus, throughout all of their classes, and on the afternoon bus as well. So please follow your teachers and your bus driver's instructions to sit in your assigned seats. And at this time, we are back to Mr. Miller.
Okay, parents, we have some different procedures that you may be different from your previous buildings. We drop off in only one location. You drop off in the front. There's a circle here where you drop off your student, and then it filters out, and it's all one way, in and then out. You cannot pick up your student back by the buses because we typically have about 40 to 45 buses back there, and it's too congested back there. You will not be able to get out, number one, and it also causes a little bit of a safety concern that we have. As students are all leaving the building and going to their buses, we can't have cars. The students will be walking through the cars, and we can't have that. So all pick-up and drop-off locations are right in front of the building. Also, if you ever need to drop off or pick up your student after school has started, you do not have to walk your child in. You can simply drop them off, or you can wait for them to come out of the building. You do not need to come into the building to drop off or pick them up. Again, we also encourage you to use the attendance line if your child is going to be sick for the whole day, or even as a doctor's appointment. We can take care of that. If there's a doctor's appointment at noon and you need your child out at 11:30, call in, give us that information. We'll send them a pass, and they'll be here waiting for you. But again, if we know in advance, we can prepare that. A little different this year because of COVID. No one will have lockers. So again, there'll be no lockers available. With that being said, you'll be able, I know the change from the middle school, you're not allowed to have backpacks. Here at the high school you are, and obviously you're going to need them now because there are no lockers. So I apologize for that. It's something changes and we can't use lockers later in the year, by all means, students will be issued them. But as of right now, there will be no lockers. Cell phone, this might be a change as well. Students are allowed to have their cell phones. They can use their cell phone in between the class in the hall, in the study hall, and also during lunch. And you would be expected to be using your cell phones probably a lot this year in class as a learning device, because many of our Chromebooks, for example, will be out. Students will be using their cell phones a lot, perhaps in their classroom, to participate in class. Again, you can't be walking down the hall in a conversation, but if you have your earbuds on, for example, and you're in study hall and you're listening quietly, you can do so. Dress code, for the most part, we don't have too many problems with boys. Every now and then, they'll wear a shirt that might be inappropriate, or sometimes we have, sagging pants. Was actually pull them up and tell you to change the inappropriate shirt. However, for the girls, simple rule of thumb: if you're wearing it to the beach, you can't wear it here. Okay. So again, we don't want to see any bellies and midriffs, the short little skirts or in short tops. That's not permitted. Again, this might be a big change, especially since we've been away for so long, that you feel comfortable wearing stuff that you lay around the house in. That may not be appropriate for school. So we got to get back in school mode. All right, so remember that. If you're found to be in violation of dress code, you'll be brought down to the office. If you have another change of clothes, you can change. Or we also have some wonderful T-shirts for you to wear that you can keep. And don't worry about giving them back. They're yours. All right. Or somebody from home can bring something from home. Again. And then communication. Parents really would love to hear from you. Teachers and administrators alike. If you ever need to get a hold of us, sometimes it might be easier to email. You can email us. All of our email addresses are on our school website under staff directory, and you can email us or feel free to leave us a message. Thank you.
We are back to the Rebel Way with Mrs. Hopkins.
Thank you, Mr. Miller, Ms. Newmeyer, and Ms. Joyce for sharing all of the information with us. We just want to remind you that, again, the Rebel Way is our way. It is how we do things here at South, because we are rebels, and we're very proud to be rebels here at South High School, and we're welcoming you into the family. And so remember, respect, excellence, belief, effort, and leadership. And with that being said, we're going to move on. So one of the things that we are really good at here at South is using social media to share information. And so each of us has an account on Twitter, and I also have an account on Instagram. And so please follow us. Mr. Miller is really good at sending things out, just general FYIs about upcoming deadlines and upcoming things. I am a picture girl, so I take pictures and just send out all sorts of pictures of your babies doing different things. And so, and Ms. Newmeyer will, I'm sure, be in the fold doing all sorts of sharing as well. So make sure you follow us. I kept talking a lot so that you guys can write this down and you have it and get it into your phone. All right, and our final thought. We are here for you. We are here. Our job is to help and support you so that at some point you make it to your senior year and you graduate. So the only way that we know that you need that, though, is that you have to seek us out. You have to advocate for yourself. That's the difference about high school, is that we begin the process of you being your own advocate. So you don't understand something, ask a question in class. Say after class, ask the teacher. If there's something going on in the building, come see your principal. Come see your guidance counselor. Come see me. And we will do whatever we can to help and support you. We want you to embrace being outside of your comfort zone. Think about doing something different, something new, something you haven't done before. Join a club, make a new friend, get into a different social group, because the only way you're going to grow is if you grow. If you continue to be the same and do the same thing, you'll be the same person. And remember, you are a rebel, and we believe in excellence always. That is doing your best and even pushing yourself to do a little bit better. So we want to thank you for joining us. And I want you to look at this picture of this young lady throwing up that her graduation cap after commencement this past year. And that one day will be you. So have a great last few days. And remember to come back ready to learn, ready to grow, and ready to follow the Rebel way.